Looks like it has Smart FTP. Not all that much. WinRAR. A lot of things you can just download on your own anyway. Picasa, Skype, etc. Yeah. But it does have Office, Access, Excel, front page, Outlook, PowerPoint. I'm not sure which version it is. Let me check. I thought I put OpenOffice on here, but I'm not seeing it. You can download it for free if you want anyway. Word. Let's see what version it is. Office XP. So it's XP Office. There it is. This isn't going to be a very good video, apparently. We'll get out of here. I kind of want to show. I wish I had my mouse plugged in. I wanted to show the tablet PC features because it is definitely awesome. I used to use this for at a like Bible study type thing, and whenever someone spoke, I'd record basically the whole meeting with OneNote, and at the same time take notes in OneNote and record the whole conversation. So you could click on a section, and inside OneNote it would bring up where it was in the recording you left off, so you could kind of backtrack and get things you didn't get the first time. It was awesome. I don't have it installed. You can download the demo of it. It lasts like 90 days or something. Definitely worth checking out. But I will show you Windows Journal, and I'll show you that the pen works. I won't really get into too much other than that. It works great. It's definitely smooth. I had an Acer tablet, and I had, what was the other one I had? Oh, Motion Computing M1200, and I like this one the best. It's convertible, so it's got the regular keyboard, laptop style. 1.6 gigahertz or 1.3. I don't remember. I thought it was 1.6. Whatever, it's over gigahertz. It definitely can use the programs that it has already on it. Hopefully there's Photoshop 7 installed, Ollie Debug, Ultra Edit, Hex program. I'm a programmer, so I have a lot of kind of strange things on here, I guess. Let's see what the battery indicator says. You got it unplugged. It's been unplugged for a while now, so it's 58% remaining, 1 hour. So you'll get about probably an hour and 50 minutes or something out of it, which is actually pretty good considering it's getting a little older now. This is like second gen tablet PC. It does have pressure sensitivity on like the compact model initially, as you can see by the pen. I'm kind of doing it lightly, and if I push harder it makes it thicker. You can highlight things with a little highlighter. The pen has you can't really see with this light. It has a little clicker thing. If you hold it down, it makes it a right click when you click on the screen. Right click. And that's really nice because a lot of the regular tablets don't have a right click on the pen. The pen fits into the screen, like so, to the front face. So I can get that. That's really, really nice. You can convert it into a slate by turning it whichever way here. And that will also change the portrait view. We'll change it into portrait from landscape. That's really nice. This was pretty much to show you that it's a dual boot and that it's very much a usable laptop as a college student or whatever. Let's restart here. Come on. There we go. It's hard to hold this and do this at the same time. We'll turn it off and I'll turn it back on. I mostly used my Microsoft external USB keyboard and mouse, so I didn't really use the built-in too much, except when I was on the road, which wasn't very often. Actually, and I also used it when I was at the Bible meetings. It's an 80 gig hard drive, so I don't even know if they offered an 80 gig. I replaced the one that was in it. I used to have a 40. Something went wrong with the 40, so I replaced it with a brand new 80. It's pretty damn new. I mean, it's been sitting for a little while. I bought a Dell a couple months ago, so I've been using the Dell a lot, but the hard drive that I bought for this wasn't refurbished or anything. It was brand spanking new. And it has 512 megs of RAM in it. That's definitely good. Here's our little boot menu. I've upgraded the Ubuntu quite a bit, so it has a lot of kernels. And here it goes, booting into Ubuntu. I have Firefox on Windows and Ubuntu. A whole bunch of programs for Linux, obviously, but most of them are all free anyway, so you can download them yourself. It does have built-in Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi is definitely nice to have, which works in both Linux and in Windows. Let's see what else. GIMP for Linux for image manipulation. I did make sure the driver works for the pen in Linux, so you can use it like a regular computer with it in slate mode. I didn't really go too crazy looking for things to make it completely like a tablet PC, but it does do the mouse emulation with the pen, including right clicking. So that's cool. This thing is awesome for graphic design, for getting like Sketchbook Pro, something like that. Let's see. Oops. Man, this is really hard. I'm going to try making a generic password for the root. Oh, that sucks. One-handed isn't very friendly. There it goes. So you guys don't have my real password, which isn't a big deal, because I'll change it anyway, but has 512 megs RAM, like I said, which is pretty good. I think you can put a gig in here, 1.5 gigs. There might be 3 slots, might be 2 slots. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I know you can at least do a gig. And I meant to do it, but I went and bought the Dell instead, so I never bothered. But basically, I'll show you that the pen works. Moves it around. I can click and drag. As you can see, it has a whole bunch of icons up here. If you look at the pictures in the auction, it's more clear for what I have, but I'll just do it real quick. Go through the kind of start menu. A lot of stuff. GIMP. I'm going to clean up the hard drive, take out any of my user stuff, so it'll clear up a lot of space. One thing I don't have is the restore disk, but luckily I do have. What is that program called? It's a hard drive backup that I use from the 40 gig to the 80 gig. It has a perfectly clean copy of Windows on it, so you can kind of revert back to an old version. I would very strongly suggest having like an external hard drive and making a backup of the hard drive before you go any further with the laptop. And that way, you know, from when you get it from eBay, you'll be able to go back to that point at any time. Or you can clean it up yourself and then do it, but I would suggest backing up the 80 into like a 250. I mean, they're less than $100 now, and most people already have them. And then you can pretty much not worry about having to install from an install CD. One problem with this is it doesn't have an internal CD-ROM drive, and the way you get around that is plugging in a USB CD-ROM drive to install things. Or even a USB hard drive. You can run off of that. I believe that's how I put the operating system on the 80 gig. I can't really remember exactly now, but obviously it's possible because I did it. So besides that, it's a pretty decently equipped laptop slash tablet PC. It works great. One thing I should note is I bought it refurbished when I bought it, so I don't really know the history, but I've treated it very, very well. I have a brand new case that I'm going to throw in for it. I used to use my M1200